So, you said after the last game you thought you'd done enough to host. Obviously, you've got an away game this weekend. Do you think you were hard done by the committee?
I do. I mean, my initial reaction to the selection was honestly disappointment, because I felt that we were deserving of an 8 seed. We're playing Portland, a very good team, but from the body of work, we finished 9 places above them in the RPI. We finished with the strongest, the 15th strength of schedule in the country compared to like 73rd, and against common opponents we actually had a better record. So the selection committee have got a very tough job, but I'd love to know the reasoning as to why they're not coming here, because I'm more disappointed for our fans than anything else, because the environment that was created on Friday night was incredible, and I would have loved to have had another night like that. Having said that, after we got over that initial disappointment, I'm delighted to be selected, and delighted for every time we go on the road it's another chance to get closer as a team, and we're going to make it a fun experience for them. We'll eat nice, we'll visit places, and it's just part of the making memories, and there's not a better group to make memories with. So disappointed not to host, but excited for the occasion.
I know you said they're obviously a good team, but what kind of, obviously not giving away your game plan, but what kind of challenges do they present? Where do you feel you have advantages against them as well?
Yeah, they switch their systems around a bit. They probably play with the back 3 to begin the game, but they do switch around depending upon how the game goes, so we have to be adaptable. Very athletic, very strong on set pieces, so that's obviously something we've got to prepare well for. Quite a direct team. They don't play through they usually play with 2 holding midfield players. Don't usually use them as frequently as maybe we do. So we've got to be ready to meet that physical challenge. So it's like playing some of the teams in the Pac-12 in that sense. They've actually played, I think, 3 Pac-12 teams on their home pitch this season and have tied all those matches. So it's like playing a Pac-12 game against one of the more direct Pac-12 type teams.
And that kind of led to my next question. Is there like a team, or maybe a mixture of teams and conference that you've played that they more so remind you of?
Well, probably a cross between some of the teams that they've played, like a Washington State and Oregon. They've played those 3 teams, and they're quite similar in the way that they play. More direct than some of the other teams in the league. All right, mate. How you doing, Jeff?
What makes playoff soccer different than the regular season?
Okay, season's over when you lose. There's only going to be 64 teams left, and only one of them's going to be ultimately happy when at the end of the season. So, like really happy. I mean, you might make the final and you'd be disappointed at the end, but then you're still happy. But so yeah, it's win and go home, and it's the last game for. If you lose, it's the last game for some really special people. So there's a lot more emotion around it in that sense. It's important that the girls understand what they've accomplished as well. We're one of 5 Pac-12 teams. Now the Pac-12 is an incredible conference, and for us to be still standing at this stage, and there's been games where you've watched us play, and I'm like, are we really going to be that around at the end of the season? I've thought that myself. But then there's been other games where we're like, man, we can play with anybody. And fortunately, we had enough of those games to get us in. So yeah, no, it's just different because the season's over when you lose, and I dread to think about that, because we talked about senior day being emotional, but it will literally be the seniors' last day. So it will be an emotional day. But ultimately, I'm really delighted for these 5th years in particular, but also the other seniors, because they'd never beaten Arizona. They're going back to the tournament. They've what a high to finish on. We had senior day the other day. They've set all these records. 4 of them, or 3 of the older ones and 1 freshman, are on the all conference awards, and so for seeing all of that, it's just a awesome way to send them out. But hopefully this isn't. I'd love to go back to where my my outlaws live, in-laws live. In Alabama, so that's where we go if we manage to get a result on Saturday.
And if this game goes the distance, of course, no golden goal this year. Do you think that's a good change?
I do. I like the closer we get to real soccer rules, the better. Change the substitution rules, stop making it a merry-go-round, so that players have to play tired. Make it where players have to play 90 minutes at times. Yes, there's less opportunities for players to get on the pitch. That's what they'll argue. But there's more opportunities for top players to play, and there's enough schools to go around. So if people weren't happy with playing time, there'd be a place to play. I think that the closer we get to the real soccer rules, the better, because I think the substitution rule just encourages you to smack it forward, chase it like crazy, and then send the next 7 players on. And that's, for me, that's soccer for some people, but it's not soccer for me. So I think the no golden goal rule is good. It's closer to the professional game. I think the no overtime rule is good in the regular season, you know, and that the American community's got to embrace some ties from now and again.
Absolutely.
It can end in a tie, Ted Lasso.
I'm sorry if I missed this, but for Nicole to be named the Conference Forward of the Year,
12 months too late. She should have won it last year, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
in a conference of this caliber, can you just describe what that means to have somebody win that award?
Yeah, no, it's incredible. You know, if you're saying you're the best forward in the Pac-12, you're effectively saying you're probably one of the best 3 forwards in the country. And if she was American, she'd be a first-round draft pick without question. But because she's international and the allocation of international slots, maybe she's got a chance of being drafted. We'll see. But if she's American, it's a done deal. But no, I'm so proud of her, so excited for her. She was. She couldn't believe it when I told her. She's like, really? Really? I mean, I haven't scored enough goals. I said, it's not just about the goals, Dougie. You've done so much other. But I honestly think it was 12. I thought she was the best. She not only did she have she clearly had the most number of goals last season in the Pac-12. She had 10 goals in 11 games last season. So even if she didn't score those goals, I'm grateful that she won the award this year, because she was deserving of it a year ago, in my opinion.
Coach, what was the first feeling you had when you realized you were in and your season was going to continue with this group?
It was different going into the selection show this year, because sometimes you go into the selection show and you're really on the bubble, and it's like, are we in, are we out, are we in, are we out? This year it was, are we home or are we away, in my mind. I felt confident that we were in, so I was a lot more relaxed than I would normally be. It's always lovely to see your team come out on the screen, and so that was always a nice feeling. But it was a lot more relaxed than last season, because, or whenever we've done it in the past. Like in 2018, we were number 42 in the nation and didn't make it. So that year it was like, are we in, are we out? And then it was disappointment. But it would have been super excitement if we were in. This year I felt more comfortable that our body of work had put us into the tournament. It was just a question of whether we were going to be home or away. So after the initial disappointment of being away, you get the, hold on a second, let's look back at what we've done. We've had an incredible season. This is going to be fun. Let's go out there and give this. You know, Portland are undefeated at home this season. Let's end that.
Do you feel like after the experience in 2020 and pushing Duke to the wire the way you did, you're more prepared with a group of a lot of players that were there for that game for this one?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We were actually talking about that yesterday, and we're actually on Duke's side of the draw. It would be awesome if we were able to progress as far as that. We got one game at a time, but it would be awesome to have the opportunity to play them again. Yeah, no, we've got a lot of youth in our team, but there's a lot of experience in this team as well. You know, you're about to talk to some 5th-year seniors, and they feel like they've been around forever, and I wish they could stick around for a few more years, and I think some of them wish they could too.
You said really good things about Pauline all season long. What when you think about her adjustment to playing over here, coming to a new country, getting used to NCAA play, what stands out to you the most about how she's sort of handled everything? Yeah,
I think sometimes the language barrier has been a good thing, because she doesn't understand me when I'm like, what are you doing? Because she'll kind of scare me sometimes with her feet, which is strange, because she's got the best feet I've ever seen from a goalkeeper. But no, I think she did a great job, because we have to go back to when she arrived, and she missed pre-season. She missed the first game of the season because she was at a World Cup, and so she was thrown into the limelight, and also thrown into the limelight when Berta was playing fantastic. And I made the decision to put Pauli in when B was on form. And so it wasn't a case of, oh, we're struggling in goal, let's put the new one in. It was a case of, B's playing fantastic, but we've signed a world-class goalkeeper. What do we do? And I made that call, and that was harsh on B, but at the same time, Pauli has demonstrated why, in my mind, she's one of the best goalkeepers in the country at this level. And so, no, she's exciting. She's fun to watch. She's like having an 11th field player out there. We can play back to her. fully confident that she's going to control the ball and play nice passes out. She can help us get out, and so yeah, no, it's been fun, and yeah, she seems to be enjoying life with the team as well.
With the mix of experience, like you said, you had, and obviously the younger players, but growth-wise and chemistry-wise, how do you feel that from even preseason until now going to the tournament that they've grown on the field?
Yeah, we work really hard off the field together, and I think that helps with us on the field. They're okay with mistakes. They understand these things are going to happen, but we work very hard as a staff with my assistants to make sure that the chemistry within the team off the pitch is crucial, is close. This enables us to hold higher standards on the pitch. If we've built a trust within our family here, within our group, then it's okay to hold each other accountable. And whereas if you don't trust each other and you start telling somebody off for not doing their job properly, they might turn around and just whatever, you're not doing your job, etc., etc. Whereas you can hammer somebody, hold them to high standards because they know ultimately they're doing it because they care, and so that really helps. And I think that's got better and better. With regards to the chemistry of playing with each other, it helps when you've got Ava, Alexia, and Dougie and Liv, for example, that have played together for 5 years. They know where their next runs. It's just making sure that as the younger ones play with them, that they get used to it. Next year will be like fresh to start again because it's almost a rebuild.
Have you been practicing penalties yet?
Yep.
Have you got a list in mind?
We got a couple more days worth of practice, and we're taking notes on who's doing them well, who's hitting the same spots, who's getting them consistent, and who's making them unsavable, and same with the goalkeepers. We watch to see who's making saves, but we also know we got two very agile goalkeepers. I've seen Pauli win a European Championship saving 4 penalty kicks, so if she's in a goal, which is obviously likely, I can't see a change happening there. But no, we're definitely making notes, and it's always a difficult one. Do you use players that haven't played any minutes? Because again, the rules are different to the professional rules. You don't have to use the players on the pitch at the end of the game. So I've made the mistake of using players that haven't played a minute in penalty shootouts, and then I've been the hero because I've used players that haven't played a minute in penalty shootouts. Just toss a coin. It's just who can hit it and who's feeling confident. And so when we get to the moment, you try and create pressure. Like I tell them, your teammates are going to run if you miss or if it's saved, okay, just so you know. And then you try and create that pressure. But ultimately, when there's a bunch of fans in the stadium and it's actually something on the line, I'll ask the question, who wants one, if it came to that, and then I will look to see which of those that want one have been successful in practice, and then I'll combine the two and they'll get them.
Thanks, Coach.
No worries.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Coach.
it, guys. Thank you.
Do you have enough sense of what Portland's all about at this point? I mean, have you gotten enough information, looked at film, whatever, that you can tell us what you think of Portland?
Okay, to be honest, we actually, like players, we don't know yet. I mean, coaching stuff they're basically doing like all kind of like the scouting right now. We as players, we don't have information yet. The only thing we know is like their formation, but other than that, we don't really know. And besides that, we're trying to focus more on ourselves and our formation we're gonna use. And yeah, that's it. We're probably gonna get to watch a little bit more film in the road.
We're looking at them as a team that can be dangerous from set pieces. That's an area you guys have struggled with a bit. How do you think you can improve on defending set pieces?
Yeah, I know Coach mentioned a little bit about them, that they're physical, they're athletic team, and they're good at set pieces. I know we've been struggling with that, but I think we just have to go back to like basics, because at the beginning of the season we were pretty good at them. So I think just going back to that and like fixing like the small details that work in that, and like in the beginning of the season, is going to be key for this game.
You recovered okay from the last game?
I'm still working on that. Not fully recovered yet. I'm still like, kind of like, they're trying to figure out, they still don't know what I have. So they're trying to figure out what I have, and then from there we'll take like, kind of like, yeah, just like a plan and see how I'm gonna recover.
It would be hard to keep you off the field, I'm guessing, unless...
Yeah, I mean, at this point, they're trying to see if I can play or not. So we're kind of like 50-50 right now.
Any more questions?
You made All Pac-12 yesterday. Ava did. Obviously, Nicole was forward of the year. How does it just feel for you guys to kind of accomplish that at this end of your career here?
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, like, it's always super exciting when you get to see those individual awards, especially because we know we've worked so hard the past, like, pretty much all of our college career, and this is kind of like, you know, just like a nice ending to our college career. And I mean, it wouldn't be possible without our teammates, who are the ones that are here every day pushing us to be like the better versions of ourselves. And as the 5th years, we just came back and we wanted to enjoy as much as we can, and we wanted to be this like the best season. So far it's been a good season.
For you guys, I mean, for the 5th years, but even for the younger players, how do you feel that you've like grown as a team, like on the field and off the field?
I think massively. I think, of course, like every year you have new players joining the team and then players leaving the team. So every year you have a new team. So of course, like, putting the effort to know everyone off the field and on the field is going to be massive. Just like cohesion and like culture from the team. And I feel every day we just like went climbing a little bit. So right now everyone feels comfortable with everyone, and that just of course helps a lot on the field.
Have you seen any change in the atmosphere among the team since, you know, now you're preparing for the tournament?
Well, of course, everyone is super excited. I think we achieved the first goal that we had this season, that it was making into the NCAA. Right now, that excitement, we're trying to translate it into like focus and like energy, and just like be mentally ready for a fight on Saturday.
Does this feel any different to you than the 2020 tournament?
I mean, it's the same excitement, you know. I think 2020 was a bit weird just because it was COVID, and then we had to travel pretty much the whole tournament. It wasn't just one location. It does feel a bit different, but I mean, it's like I said, it's the same excitement, and we know that we can compete against those teams, so we're really looking forward for Saturday.
Is there any disappointment at all about not getting the home game, or do you just say we're going to go do our thing, it doesn't matter?
I mean, of course we would have loved to host the first game. That didn't happen, but that's not really a disappointment. We just take it like, okay, we're just gonna do our thing, but probably like in another field. But no, rather than disappointment, I think it's just like another motivation to go and win on another field.
Graham said when you found out you were forward of the year, you were even kind of blown away by that.
Yeah.
What did you think when you heard?
Yeah, I was like, I was gonna ask him, are you sure? Like, can you recheck like this is actually true? Because like I didn't actually believe it. Like, there's so many good forwards in the pack, and you know, I didn't score as many goals as last season. Yeah, I mean, I did break some records, but never would I thought that I would be, you know, the forward of the year. Like, never would have imagined it. So I was a bit speechless, to be honest.
Do you think it was kind of like a recognition for the 2 years in total that you had?
Yeah, I think so. I think coach was very like disappointed that I didn't get it last season, despite how I like top goal scorer in the nation, and I broke a record as well. So he was a bit disappointed, and he felt like that I should have got it last season. So he was just over the moon that I got it this season, and so yeah, really happy that I could get that award as well.
And obviously, it's a great individual accomplishment, but what does it say in your like to the team as well? I mean, that you got that, like, their part in you earning this as well.
Yeah, I mean, they play a massive part in it. You know, every game I dedicate every goal I score to them, because you know, without my teammates and without the quality that we have in this team, you know, getting these awards wouldn't be possible. So yeah, very thankful for them.
Looking to the tournament, Graham said that he thought you did enough to get a home game. Obviously you haven't. Do you think you were a bit hard done by the committee?
Yeah, I think so. I felt like we deserved to host. I mean, we had an incredible crowd for the last couple of games in the season, and we wanted to bring that back home and have the same atmosphere as well. But you know, we'll go on the road and we'll have a great time and take everything in, and you know, we're just all very excited to be back in the tournament.
We didn't get to talk to you after Arizona, but was the feeling everything that you hoped it would be to finally win against the rival and all that?
Yeah, I mean, I said at the start of the season that I wasn't going to leave without beating U of A, and you know, we've beaten U of A, we're back in the tournament, and you know, I couldn't ask for anything better.
How do you feel the team is on the field, off the field, but has grown? Because Coach talked about obviously the experience, the 5th years, but even the younger players. So from the start of the season to now, how do you feel you've meshed as a group?
Yeah, I mean, our culture has always been like really good within the team, and the freshmen that came in this season have fitted in so well, and you know, they've taken everything in their stride, and they've lived up to our values and how we are as a team, team first, you know, as we say. So very, very happy to have them, and you know, they've made such an impact. You know, we have a few starters that are freshmen, so yeah.
Of course, they've scrapped golden goal this year. What kind of an impact do you think that's going to have? Yeah,
I think you know, if it does go to extra time, then you know, we can't just panic about we need to get the first goal. You know, if it does come down to the other team scoring, then we still have time to get one goal back, and you know, it's something I was used to going back home playing extra time. So yeah.
When you think about that possibility and you have Pauline in goal, does that give you extra I don't know, confidence, I guess, that you could get through PKs if you need to, just with that kind of goalie?
Yeah, definitely. She's such an amazing keeper. With her feet, with her hands, she's a leader back there. You know, so we're very, very thankful to have her in goal. And you know, the awards that she's got this year, just shows her how much of a good keeper she really is. So we're very stable and very confident that we have her in goal.
Of course, we're used to seeing you take them from 12 yards out. Who do you think is the second best penalty taker on the team?
You know, I think if anyone steps up to that penalty spot, I believe that they can score. But you know, we've seen Alexia do a couple of good penalties. You know, in Asia, a couple of good penalties. Ava, but everybody on this team can take a penalty, and you know, I believe that they can score.
Alexia said it's sort of 50-50 whether she can play or not. Number one, are you assuming she'll be out there unless she's dead? And how important is it to have her out there?
Yeah, you know, it's going to be important to have her out there, but you know, the most important thing is her health and how she's feeling, and so we'll just see how it is, how her injury is, and go from there. But you know, we are hoping to have her, but it's about her and her body, so we're not too sure yet.
Knowing that any given game now could be your very last one for ASU,
yeah.
How does it feel after all these years?
I mean, it's bittersweet. I mean, like, the emotion hasn't hit me yet. I mean, after winning the U of A game, you know, I had very good confidence they would make the tournament, and so I didn't go through them emotions of I've just stepped off the pitch for the last time for ASU. So I think, you know, knowing that any game is my last game is going to be so emotional, but I'm going to take in every single moment, and you know, it's been such a great 5 seasons that I've been here.
Now that it is, how do you stay focused on, you know, the game at hand as opposed to the emotions of it potentially being your last game?
Yeah, I mean, I just got to not focus on it being my last game. You know, we want to go as far as we can with this team, and worrying about your emotions of being the last game, of it may be in your last game, is not going to help. So you know, focus on the game plan, focus on what we need to do and what I need to do personally, and then just take in every single moment, you know, enjoy it.
Does it help at all knowing that, you know, a lot of players on the team are fifth years, some of your roommates are fifth years and kind of going through the same stuff as you emotionally?
Yeah, definitely. We talk about it a lot, and you know, we have just a lot of emotions when we're not on the soccer field, but as soon as we step over that white line, it's a completely different mentality. You know, we talk about where we're going to be in the future, and it's good to have those other people that know what you're going through as well. It's nice.
Call Pac-12. What does that just mean to you to kind of get that honor on top of everything else?
Yeah, I think super, like we heard it yesterday, we saw it on Twitter and on the social media channel, so super happy about it. And I think what you say that we all made a team, I think says a lot, and I think without each other we would not have made those teams. But yeah, obviously big honor, and super happy that we got that award.
Does it add to the decision to come back for a fifth year, to be recognized like that?
What do you mean?
Just to get an honor like that, does it add to, like, oh, we made the right decision?
Okay, like that.
To come back
I see.
for a fifth year, yeah.
Yeah, but for me, those awards are not like my drive to play. I mean, individual awards, like soccer is a team sport, so individual awards are amazing, and scoring a lot of goals and assisting, being on those records is really cool. But I think it's not the main thing that we play for. So then kind of having that as a surprise and kind of like a reward from all the hard work as a whole team I think, yeah, that definitely says like, hey, we made the right decision to stay an extra year. Yeah, for sure.
How do you feel the team's grown just overall from the start of the season? Obviously, 5th year, as Coach talked about the younger players coming in, just the chemistry and understanding each other on the field and off the field as well.
Yeah, I think the team culture for us is a really, really big thing that we spend a lot of time on, and I think that shows on the field. So when things are good off the field and you have the trust in each other and you're able to hold each other accountable outside the pitch but also on the pitch, it helps a lot, and that's definitely something that grew from the start because, you know, quite some new faces, new players, international players, different languages, so there are some struggles there. But I think, you know, having meetings, talking about the standards as a team, the culture, what are we looking for in each other, building that trust, that's been a really, really big thing throughout the season, yeah.
If it comes down to it, would you be ready to step up and take a penalty?
Yes.
You and Alexia are so good together, but there's been times this year where one or the other of you have been out. If she couldn't go for some reason, how do you replace, you know, how do you fill in for that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think Alexia, her playing style can't be replaced, but we have players 100% that will step up if she wouldn't be able to play. There are a lot of players ready to take that spot and ready to step up, yeah.
We're looking at all these games now going ahead. Of course, any given week could be your last game here after all these years. How does that feel?
Yeah, it honestly still feels a bit unreal. I don't think it has really kicked in yet. I'm just super focused on the tournament right now, the next game. And I think after everything has happened, that's when it's gonna start kicking in, coming here, you know, saying goodbye to everything. That's when it's gonna start to kick in. But right now, not yet, because we want to extend the season as long as we can.
When you saw your draw, especially the fact that you didn't get a home game, was there any disappointment in that, or is it just, you know, we're an experienced enough team that we just roll with it and go play wherever they tell us to go?
Yeah, we'll play wherever they tell us to go. I mean, Portland, great place. It's gonna be a great atmosphere. Obviously, like, if we would have hosted here, it would have been amazing with the fans celebrating, because for example last Friday night it was just an amazing atmosphere, like the stadium was full. So yes, that would have been amazing, but honestly, like, we're in the tournament now, so whatever they throw at us, we'll go.
For the whole group of you that is getting to go again to the tournament for the second time in 3 years, just the accomplishment part of it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the selection show yesterday, sitting together as a team, and then especially the girls that had gone before, kind of reliving that feeling of getting your name called. And then this year's a little different than the time we went with the COVID year, and we all went to North Carolina, and it was kind of like a bubble tournament, so this is a little different. And then we're going to Portland, and we've never gone to Portland, so we've heard they have really cool environment, so we're excited to play there.
How do you feel the team's grown through the season till now, chemistry-wise, just getting used to Coach saying new faces, some new players, obviously the experience, but how do you feel the team's grown?
Tremendously, but I think we started off on a really good foot, because this summer the freshmen came a bit earlier than, and they all came together, so we started our summer workouts together. So I think that really helped to kind of mesh the team, and it's there's only like 2.5 weeks of preseason before season starts, and we're already in postseason, so it's a pretty quick turnaround. So having them come in early was fantastic, just to kind of get the initial relationship started, and then it only just continued to grow. I think we have a very supportive team, and I think that really shows on the bench and how vocal the bench is, and everyone's just happy to be there and happy to see their teammates succeed.
Set pieces could be crucial in this one. What do you think you can do as a team to improve your set piece defending?
I just think I agree with you. Set pieces, especially for this game, is going to be critical, and I think just I don't think we necessarily lack in focusing during it, but I think communication bit just between everyone, and
I think it's essential to win the first and second balls, and if you're going to go up to win, to try to win that first header, it's crucial that we go in and no matter who's in the way, we get the ball out of our box.
Any other questions?
Let's do the generic one then. So this could be your last game. Coming up any given week now could be your last game. After all these years, how does it feel?
It's quite an interesting feeling, I'd say, but I kind of looked at this whole fifth year season as a bonus. So every game this past season has been a bonus to me, and this is like the bonus on the bonus. And we're just excited to go out to play Portland at night, and I think the night games are where we tend to really show up for, so we're really excited.
If it comes down to it, are you going to volunteer for a penalty?
Yeah, I think, we'll see when that happens, and I think we have a solid 5 shown up already, and we'll show up when the time comes.
Because you play in the Pac-12 and every weekend it's a very difficult game or two. How does that prepare you, to go on the road and play a team like Portland?
Oh, I think that prepares us a lot. I mean, this season we had to go on the road against the LA schools and seeded 1 and 4, I think. So we definitely have experience of the quick turnaround time. Except this time we have a couple extra days than normal. In the Pac-12 season, you get 3 days of practice before you got to play again. So we have 2 more days on top of that. So if anything, I think we have more preparation on top of what we're normally used to.
Do you know what you're playing next, or is that still to be determined?
I think that's still TBD for now.